A warm welcome to the Boxing Day edition of Business Daily. I am Yusuf Akogo. Of course, the Christmas celebration is still in the air all around the world. Nigerians are indeed not, are part of that celebration as well. Despite the economic difficulties, the hardship, a lot is still going on out there. A lot of people have traveled. You see the government giving palliatives on cost of transportation, but the cost of food is indeed very high in the market. Where like a bag of rice is, going very, very high. All other things that people need to celebrate Christmas is indeed out of reach of some of Nigerians. And to make the matter worse, some Nigerians are yet to receive their salary. It's alleged that some federal government workers are yet to be paid their salary. We hope that the federal government and indeed every other government responsible, state or local government, respond very quickly as possible to ensure that Nigerians enjoy this Yuletide season successfully. Welcome again to Business Daily. Today we are looking at a very issue that is one issue that is very, very important. While Nigerians were celebrating the report of the CBN investigator, some say it leaked. The report was actually meant for the presidency, but a lot of it's in public domain now. Some of the content of that report are out there, and the report indeed indicted the former CBN governor, Mr. Godwin Emefiele, over so many allegations that have been raised so far, from the currency design to the cost of printing and so many other issues in that report. And indeed, the former governor, came out again to deny the allegation, especially in the areas of authorization, because according to the report, they say the former president did not authorize the naira redesign, but the former governor came out to say that, look, that is a lie. He has denied all those things, that indeed the former president directed him to embark on naira redesign, which actually brought us quite a whole lot of hardship to Nigerians at the time. Well, let's look at some of the key highlights of that report. We have them in these graphics. One of the key things there is, of course, the naira redesign. It claimed that the redesign of the naira in 2020 was illegal, as it wasn't recommended by the CBN board or approved by president as required by law. The redesigned currency, therefore, is considered illegal, and it suggested that it should be withdrawn from circulation. These are some of the recommendations from the report. The cost and legal fee as well is said to be so as it is right now. The former CBN governor, Mr. Emefiele, he is saying that he is being, in a way, being witch hunt by the report.
Of course, everybody should expect that. This is how it always plays out in the country. When there is a new government, somebody is always being witch hunted. But the truth is, if your hands are clean, then you can stand in the public to say, I didn't do this. And then you are able to show proofs. Unfortunately, this is an unequal power case where the former CBN governor is held in the DSS custody and may not be able to come out and show any evidences to clear himself or to refute what the government is saying. Otherwise, I would always say, let's hear from both sides. Let's hear both sides presenting their evidences so that we can determine whether one party is wrong or the other. For now, it's just your word against mine. And much to be seen in the whole of this issue.
So the court will have a lot of work to do in this matter then. Okay. So, let's look at the other, some of the issues raised as well. So the issue of mismanagement and malfeasance in various operations. According to them, there is quite a whole lot of fraudulent use of ways and means, the handling of government property, and of course the questionable compensation packages and misuse of printed money.
Well, there are no specifics on this issue. The only issue that is a bit specific, and that is because we have discussed this issue, the issue before. It has been in the public domain, is the issue of ways and means, where the government, the federal government at the time, overshot its limits and was still asking for more and was trying to turn it into a long-term loan. All these things require the approval of the National Assembly, and the National Assembly did have a debate on it at the time, and I think it was eventually approved for the FG to go ahead. So with some of the anomalies in the ways we do things, issues like this will always be complicated. And there are things I wouldn't want to be saying here. I would like for the investigator to present them at the court and let the court of law do their job. We have a lot of things going on in our public spaces. And just imagine that you as the head of the house now, you are caught stealing meat from the pot of soup by your daughter. What do you think will happen when it's your daughter to take meat from the pot? Can you tell her no? You will tell her, we also tell her. And then before you know it, your son catches both of you. And all of you are taking.
Absolutely.
The only one who does not know. And because you know it, by the time she finds out, she goes to the market and buys half of the meat that she's supposed to buy and uses the money for makeup. And nobody can complain because all of us are guilty of one thing or
the other. Absolutely.
So you look at our system, it has been properly designed with a monitoring system in place. We have the auditors, we have all of that. The Office of the Auditor General is supposed to audit most of the ministries, agencies, and parastatals, and all of that. But you see, these people go to do their auditing, they write reports. These reports are sent to appropriate quarter, and then for one reason or the other, either the report is not used, or even the report may be used in the wrong way. You know, you went and wrote a report when this man said, don't write it. Oh, so you have the mind to write a report. Somebody is sacked, or somebody is framed, and all of those things. So because we have consistently abused the system, it allowed anomaly to begin to hatch and grow and multiply in our system. And that is what we are seeing today. It is not just the CBN. Let us shine the light on NNPC and see. Remember the former CBN governor, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, lost his job because he said the CBN was not remitting enough dollars.
NNPC.
Not remitting what it was supposed to remit. He asked for them to be on and all of that, and before you know it,
he was suspended and of course eventually removed.
And he was eventually removed.
Absolutely.
So if you shine the light on any enterprise owned by the government or any agency, any ministry of the government, and you will see the same kind of thing you are seeing in the CBN today.
Indeed, quite a whole lot of submission there. Mr. Wisin, hold your thoughts there. Let's take this short break. We'll come back and continue the discussion. Don't go away. Glad to have you back. It's the Business Daily right here on Trust Television. Of course, the Boxing Day edition. Of course, the celebration is still on all over the world. My guest, Mr. Wilson Agaba, is still with me. Mr. Wilson, before we went on that break, you were talking about quite a lot of issues around remittances and so many other issues. Now let's look at the issue. Another issue that was also raised as well is about the e-naira projects. You recall the CBN introduced e-naira at the time, and there is a concern raised about the implementation of that e-naira project. Lack of presidential approval is also been one of the reason here. Extra budgetary spending, questionable project maintenance costs are some of the this thing. Probably the contract was overbloated. Don't you think so?
Well, it won't be new also. You are now beginning to see case by case. Why I told you that there's nothing in this whole thing that is surprising to me, because we all know that most of the government projects are overbloated, and even though we know it, we all turn a blind eye to it, and the system does not do anything to check it. So it continues to happen. We are used to wasting. Those were some of the things that got her into trouble. Some people that used to take money anyhow from their the small cash they give them to work with, she gave them a debit card and said, wherever you go, as long as it's approved by the government, use the card to pay, and then we can account for it almost without asking you questions. Those things were a problem for some of the people who used to keep people in Hilton, Sheraton, and all those big hotels and pay from government wallets. So we don't do these checks. We don't, even when we have biddings, we also have developed a system that can beat the bids, where we have insiders who give the information to certain people outside, who then prepare this bid to suit what is needed. And we sabotage ourselves. So that's what you are seeing there. And because that job also may have been done by somebody who is a friend of the government or a friend of somebody in government. So that scrutiny will not be there. Even the issue of conflict of interest that they take very seriously elsewhere, we don't look at it that way. So all of these things are happening. And it's not new. I know it's not also new to you, but you are supposed to be neutral. Even the audience know that not new, that things are overbloated in our government.
Absolutely.
And I tell you, even this government, unless they take extra care and put extra measure in place, it's still going to happen. When they leave office, you are still going to hear stories like this about them.
Indeed, quite a whole lot of concern that you raised there, and indeed I know Nigerians are indeed worried as well. But let's begin to look at solution to all these problems. The report already, it leaked as it is alleged. It's already in the public domain. What do you think now government should start doing, or the respected authority, the authority concerned should start doing to ensure that the CBN, the head of the monetary policy of Nigeria, should be, properly cleaned up?
Well, now, you see, one of the things they need to do is to, first of all, punish those that have erred in any way or the other in this whole issue. Even if it means trying the former president for dereliction of duty, or for anywhere he refused to do, or out of ignorance or negligence was unable to do what he was supposed to do, he should be brought to book, so that the sitting president will also know that if I leave office, this can happen to me. So he sit up. The former CBN governor everything that is alleged against him should be taken to court and proven in the court of law. He should be given a fair trial. He should be made to pay yearly for the things he has done wrong. He should be made to restitute. Where he has stolen, they should make sure he gets it. In fact, at a time in the past, I recommended that when somebody steals money from the government, if the person is found guilty, the interest, the money should be calculated at the prevailing interest rate from the time he stole it to the moment he was convicted, and it should be recovered from him. And if such a person has houses and properties everywhere, it should be recovered. And if the person, from what you recover, cannot pay it, his own next of kin should be made to pay on behalf of their parents. So that if, as a son, you notice that your father is bringing home money that is more than what is earning, you will go and report it by yourself because you don't want to keep paying for the rest of your life. If we make sure that people who steal money are made to sleep under the bridge when the law is done with them, people will not steal. So what the government needs to do in this case is to, first of all, bring everybody to justice who have a hand in this pilfering of public funds. Then we need to overhaul the system. We need to have a system that works on its own. Now let me show you anomalies in our system. Once there is an election or election is coming close, almost every key agency stop functioning. They are watching where it will go. For instance, we should have an EFCC, ICPC that should be working irrespective of who becomes the president.
Absolutely.
This organization cannot work if a president has to appoint their head and has the power to fire.
To hire and fire them.
Yes, that the president shouldn't be able to do anything to them. This agency should be able to investigate the president that is even sitting.
All right.
How can we get that done?
All right.
How can we get other political agencies to work irrespective so that even though we are changing government or not, these people are grinding. We are seeing people caught, we are seeing people jailed, and nobody can fire them unless they themselves commit. I'm even thinking that maybe we should remove some power from the president.
Absolutely. That's the responsibility of the National Assembly. I must thank you, Agaba Speaks, a financial analyst and, of course, a business consultant as well, for your time on Business Daily. Today is a Boxing Day edition, and, of course, we appreciate you for, giving us your time at least. But I'll be coming to your house maybe much later to see what is in your, boxing gift today. Is it renewed hope? I will find out that much later. Much later in the day. Absolutely. All right. I must thank you for your time, Mr. Wesin. All right. Well, with that is a wrap on the show today. We'll be